All right, let's dive into a really big one. This is an idea you've probably kicked around before. Maybe you've seen it in a sci-fi movie or stumbled across it late at night online. It's this super fascinating, kind of mind-bending concept that makes you question, well, everything.
So here's the question at the heart of it all. Is our universe, at its most fundamental level, just information? I mean, is everything, from the biggest galaxies out there to the very chair you're sitting on right now, really just bits and bytes, like we're living in some kind of cosmic computer? It's a super popular idea, right? And you can see why, especially when you hear about things in quantum physics, where just observing something seems to change it. But the source we're looking at today makes a really strong case against this whole idea.
And the whole argument, really, it all hinges on one critical distinction. It's a difference that's super easy to overlook, and it's this: the difference between describing something and actually creating it. This is the absolute core of the argument, so let's really dig into what that means.
Okay, so this lays it out perfectly. You've got description on one side, which is basically a tool we invented, something man-made that we use to explain what we see. Then you have creation. That's the real deal. The actual origin of a thing, the fundamental source of nature. And the whole point being made here is that these two things are fundamentally different. They are not the same, and they can't be.
And this perspective is, well, it's about as direct as you can get. The quote says it all. Nothing is a result of information. That's the main claim we're digging into here. The idea is that we've gotten so good at describing things that we've started to mistake our descriptions for the things themselves.
Okay, so if information doesn't create reality, then what is it? What are we even talking about when we use that word? Well, let's take a look at how our source material breaks it down.
So here's the definition we're going with. Information isn't some mystical, fundamental thing. Nope, it's a tool. A human-made tool. It's something we built from the ground up, using symbols we invented, letters and numbers, specifically to describe the properties of a reality that was already here long before we were.
And this shows you exactly how we build a description from scratch. Step 1, we just invent symbols, right? Alphanumeric characters. Then step 2, we use those symbols to create systems, like math. And only then, as the final step, do we use those systems to describe the things we're actually observing. See the order there? The observation happens first. The description always comes after.
Okay, I know this can all feel a little abstract, a little philosophical. So let's bring it right back down to earth with a perfect real-world example that we all know: gravity.
So, from this point of view, the laws of physics that we write down in our textbooks, they don't actually rule nature. An apple doesn't do a quick calculation with Newton's equations before it decides to fall off a branch.
No, it's the complete opposite. Those laws are just our best shot at a description. They're a pattern that we noticed and wrote down. We watched tons and tons of apples fall, and from all those observations we came up with a mathematical rule that fits. The key thing is, that rule describes what's happening. It doesn't cause it to happen. And yeah, the source material doesn't pull any punches here. The quote is pretty direct. When someone says information creates gravity, or gravity comes from information, he is full of it. It's saying that this is just a huge mistake in thinking. It's the classic case of putting the cart before the horse, or, the equation before the apple.
So this is really the crucial point. From this perspective, that whole idea that information creates reality, it's just a logical mistake. It's us confusing the description we made of the thing with the actual thing itself. And all of this leads to a classic, really powerful idea that just perfectly sums up the whole argument. The map is not the territory. Think about it. A map of a city is super useful, right? It helps you get around. But it's not the city. You can't actually live on the map.
And that is the ultimate takeaway. Just because we can describe something with information, even everything, that doesn't prove that it's made of information. Of course we can describe it with information. That's literally what we designed information to do in the first place, to be our ultimate tool for describing things. So let's end on this thought. If all of our best tools for understanding the universe, all our math, all our physics, all our information, if they're all just maps, just detailed descriptions, that leaves us with a pretty mind-blowing question, doesn't it? What is the territory itself? What does reality actually look like beyond our descriptions? What kind of incredible truths might be out there, just waiting, right beyond the limits of our language and our equations?